Amazing. So that's good. Got the record button on. Brilliant. So it's a couple of minutes past, so I'm just going to get started. I get the slides up. Right, so thumbs up again. Emma, you're the guinea pig because I can see you at the top. You can see the slides okay. Perfect. Excellent. So welcome, guys. I'm so glad that you are on nice and live, so I'm not just sat here chatting to myself, which is good. So basically, the whole point of tonight is to give you a bit of an overview about what a digital marketing strategy looks for a small business. Now, obviously, small business covers so many different areas. But generally, we're talking about anyone that's a sort of solo entrepreneur through to, you know, maybe having a few sort of employees and things like that. But generally, this is a digital marketing strategy that big businesses use, but we're just kind of condensing it down to make it a bit more kind of accessible for the small business market. So I'll just get kick-started then. So this is me looking slightly better than I am now. This is a picture that I particularly like of myself. So just to give you a little bit of an overview of me first of all, but what I want you to do is just kind of take the time to kind of stop, you know, just get the phone out the way, shut the door if you can. If you've got children, try your best to ignore them, and just really give yourself the time to absorb everything that I'm going to be going through tonight. That would be amazing. It's not really going to be any more than an hour, but just get settled in, get your pen papers ready and start getting some notes down, because this is stuff that you will be able to take away now and implement right away, which is super exciting. So again, here I am and my lovely little family. So it's a very, very brief insight into me. I'm not going to be yabbing on all night, but just to give you a little bit of a background about where I kind of have come from. So I started my early working life in the TV industry at the very tender age of 18, and I was pretty much thrown straight into the deep end. I went into the big world of proper working at such a young age, and to be honest, it was scary at the time, but it definitely stood me in good stead throughout the years. But I've always been a creative person, always. That's been my passion. I love making new things and just developing ideas and, you know, just trying to evolve as a person and trying to evolve in my business. That's always been my passion. But then in the last few years, I've always developed a really amazing passion for helping people as well. And that and the creative side has been great, actually. I've absolutely loved it. So a few years ago, so there's my lovely little family there. There's Freddie, my biggest boy. So when I first had him, he's 6 now, I massively suffered with separation anxiety. It was horrendous. It wasn't something I saw coming at all. But what transpired is that TV industry and everything that I worked really hard to you know, achieve in was just something that made me so unhappy day in, day out. So I kind of went on a bit of a quest to find a path that I could work on my own terms, and just be able to have that flexibility and still have the income and all of that jazz. So I did that and really successfully built a social business. And it is my biggest win, I would say, in terms of business, that I managed to get to a point in my business that was turning over 5 figures within my first 10 months. So I think that was just driven by the passion that I felt for an event, like just having that flexibility and having the choices and knowing that I could create the life that I actually wanted to create. And it was pretty spectacular. I did love it. But that was where I developed a passion for helping people and helping people to do the same as what I had done, and just, you know, be successful and have the flexibility and living life on your own terms, which is my favourite thing ever. So that's why I have then now evolved into developing my skills in digital marketing. I've completed a diploma, and I also invested in a personal one-to-one coach to develop that even further. So there's my lovely husband, as I said, and the youngest there, aka Wreck-It Ralph. If any of you have seen that movie, you'll know exactly what I mean. He is a terror, but they keep me on my toes for sure. So here we are, so we'll get started. So what are you going to expect from tonight? So we're going to go through quite a few things actually, and obviously these are all quite big areas, but I'm going to do my best to try and show you exactly the best way to go about it for success. So we've got branding, so how important that actually is and how to nail it across all platforms. Then developing your dream customer. So who are they? What do they look like? And it goes more than that, but we'll go into that in a wee bit. You really need to dig down and understand exactly what makes them tick. A huge thing that I would imagine that all of you are missing out on in your marketing strategy, which is something called a lead magnet, which we'll go into further. And then nurturing your relationships. It's a really crucial part of the system because people don't just see something and buy and just see something and opt in straight away. It's a process of them getting to know you, getting to know your brand, what you're all about, what your product or your service is all about. And that is a journey that they take. And when you think about it, it is something that we do. Probably we do it on a subconscious level, but we do it all the time. So you probably won't realise, but I bet you'll come off of this call and either tonight or tomorrow you'll start to really twig and the sort of decision-making process that you have when you're purchasing something yourself. And then we're going to have a wee look at the sales strategy. So what does that actually look like? Social media best practices, and then Facebook ads back office. I can hear somebody rustling about, so if you see your little mic that isn't muted, would you mind just popping it on mute for me? That would be amazing. No microwaves yet, but I can hear rustling. And then the last thing we're really going to speak about is the Facebook ads. Now, when I did my live the other night on the community page, I asked the question, does everybody use the boosted post? I did, before I understood what Facebook ads was all about. The boosted post is a bit like throwing your money out the car window, to be perfectly honest, and hoping that you're going to hit somebody with it. It's a bit cheeky from Facebook's point of view, I reckon, because you know they if you use a boosted post, they will put you in the category of a novice advertiser or a novice business, and it doesn't do your organic reach or your business any good. However, what the exciting news is that Facebook have an amazing back office, which I'm actually going to show you because it's not something that you can really tell. I need to get right in and show you, and then we're going to finish off with a Q&A, as I've mentioned before. So branding up first. So let's take a look. Hold on a wee second. I'm just going to shift you guys a little minute so that I can see the slides. So we're going to take out all the kind of important things that really sort of, your brand is so important actually, and it's so important that you have that consistency across all your platforms, across your marketing materials, all of that, because what we'll go into in a little minute, people subconsciously will make a decision or will get a feeling of you and your brand instantly by looking at a logo or colours even. I've had someone recently say to me, oh, I saw those colours and I instantly thought of you. And that's really what you want to kind of get across in your branding. So it improves recognition, it creates trust, supports advertising, financial value, builds financial value. So if you build obviously a good brand, a well-trusted brand, then it builds a financial value within that. Inspires employees if you have them, especially if you go for something like a mission statement and really start to build a brand around these things. It can inspire employees and generates new customers also, because again, if people recognize your brand in different areas and they already have that feeling of trust, then they'll be more likely to opt in to be a new customer. So improves recognition. So when you think about it, different logos, think about when you see McDonald's golden arches or you see that tick of Nike, what does it make you think right away? I mean, you know it right away, don't you, without even seeing anything else about it. It will give you an instant feeling. You know, McDonald's might make you feel a little bit hungry, or if you're really not into that, it might make you feel a little bit sick, but it will make you, the feelings will come as soon as you see either a logo or a branding. It's the face of the company, and it is crucial, and it can be like both Nike and McDonald's. It can be a very, very simple graphic, that because this graphic is going to be used consistently across your marketing channels, social media, all of these things, then it becomes the face and it becomes what people recognize with your brand. So it doesn't matter if you're a really small business, you are a solo entrepreneur, anything like that, developing a logo brand and carrying that throughout your whole of your campaign is really crucial, and really powerful as well. So I get it, you might not have a budget for a graphic designer, all of those sorts of things, definitely, but the good news is there's amazing tools out there for you to create professional logos and to create a brand look across your social media and stuff like that. So I'm going to actually just nip in and show you right now. Now, tell me if, let me see. Can you, I'm going to just open this up again so I can see. Emma, can you see my browser? No. Okay. Can you see it now? Yay, okay, excellent. So, I imagine most of you probably are familiar with Canva already, but I'm just going to nip in and have a wee quick look at it and show you. I'm going to show you my sort of, because Canva is one of the platforms that I use all the time actually for creating brand and consistency and stuff like that, which you'll see. So this is all the different sort of things that I've got going on there. So you'll see along the top here, you can create pretty much anything in Canva. You can do custom dimensions, which is up the top if you have different things or different sizes that you want to do. But mostly you will find something in here for everything. So all the social media channels, if you're going to do letterheads, if you're going to do anything really, infographics, blog covers, all of that kind of stuff. Now, the good thing about Canva is it is pretty much 80–90% free. The only time you really need to spend a wee bit of money is if, so let's for instance say I'm going to create an Instagram post. You need to create a little bit of, it could be the images. So sometimes if you're looking for a specific image that you need to pay for, then free photos are in here. There are some free ones, but you generally sometimes are like $1 maybe. And that's the maximum I've ever spent on an image on Canva anyway, which is good. Now the other sort of paid element of Canva is that you can create a brand within Canva, and it basically just makes your life easier. So for me, so say for instance, I'm going to put some text in. I'm going to put some text in and start building my thing. So this is saved. So the branding, what it does here is it saves your branding fonts. So this is my branding fonts here, here and here. So these are the main ones that I use, and I've got another, these are the uploaded fonts that I've put in that I haven't used. So it means that everything's there ready for you to start creating. Uploads, you can upload all the different kind of pictures that you use to pull in, elements. So things like, I'm going to actually just go back and show you something that I've already made. So you can be quite creative with it, which is good, but you get to really customize it. So say for instance like this here, what I generally do and what I stick across all kind of platforms is I have a few different images, which you'll see in a little bit, that I use as the backdrop. So basically you drag that image in. So the first thing I would do is drag that image in, and then I go into elements, and in the grid section, oh no, not grid, sorry. In the shape section, this little one here. So when you pull that over, it is a bit like this. So I want to choose the image. Now this is my brand colours here because I've got that saved in my paid part of Canva. So I want to make it green, but I don't obviously want it that green. So you can, hold on, I need to shift you guys again. You can pull back, oopsies, pull back the transparency on that so that you can play about with it, which is good. So there's loads of different shapes that you can use there. Now with this, obviously, say for instance I was putting this in and I wanted this text to be over the top of that. So you can click to arrange it either forward or back. So you can throw the text behind it or you can pull it forward. Same with these things as well. So it's an amazing tool. You have to be a little bit creative with it. You need to take a little bit of time to sit and create different things. But it is an amazing tool for free or very, very cheaply to create really a nice, strong, branded look across, across your social media channels especially. And in the mobile phone app of Canva, you can also create this, but for your stories section. So your stories within Instagram, and what's the other one, like Facebook and stuff like that, which do stories. So it is an amazing tool. There's your brand there. So that's basically the paid version that I do. It makes my life easier. It means all my colours are there straight away. You can add in logos, your fonts that you're using is there straight away. So I can't actually remember how much that costs, but it's not something you need to do at all or at the beginning anyway. Just use the free section. Okay, excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the slides again. It's a bit of a fidget this, right? Okay, Keynote, perfect. That should be it now, guys. So back to that. So the other one that I use quite a lot is Creative Market. So Creative Market is something you can go in and have a little look at yourself. So just creativemarket.com, and it's an excellent resource for buying. You can buy logo images in there. You can buy fonts. You can buy, do you know, these amazing sort of flat lays and things like that that you see a lot of people use. You can buy them in there. You could buy pretty much everything that you see visually that you can create. There'll be something, some sort of template that you can buy. So jot that down and go and have a good nosy about. They are mostly paid. You sometimes get an email from them and they'll give you like 6 free downloads and it will be various things. But if you're looking for something specific, then you can spend anything from like $1 up to, you know, $20, $30. It really just depends what you're after, but it is amazing. So another one is Pinterest. So Pinterest, I am a massive fan on Pinterest. This is where I recommend you start your branding process if you don't have it already, or if you do have it already and you want to just develop it a little bit or maybe rebrand, then this is another one. So I'm just going to quickly show you. Okay. So what I did was I created a little branding mood board. Now, Pinterest is definitely something that is underused massively. And Pinterest, I could go on about it all day actually, but it would need to be a whole other thing entirely because it would just take too long. But it is an incredible, incredible tool for you to drive traffic basically to whatever you want to drive traffic to, whether that's your website, whether that's a blog post, anything like that at all. It is an amazing, amazing tool. It's not a social media outlet at all because you're not really social on it, but it is definitely a traffic building tool. So let me just go down and show you what I would recommend you guys do. So here we go. Here's a rebranding mood board, as I'd like to call it. So I've got a few different fonts in there, fonts that I like. And then you'll find amazing images, a bit like this one, that will give you a good idea of what colours go together, what textures go together. You can pull the fonts together. There's little logo ideas here again. So just pulling together all those colours. And what tends to happen, you might search for a specific colour, say. So you could search for branding in navy and then some things will come up. But then what will generally happen is loads of different things will come up and there'll be lots of different ideas that you can then click on and move through. So this is just a really nice sort of idea of how a branding sort of board would look. Again, look at this image. It's amazing to see all those colours together. And it really starts to give you an idea of what you want things to look like. So if you haven't got a strong brand already, or you want to rebrand, then I would really recommend that you go in and start creating a board on Pinterest because it will really start to inspire you with all the things that you can do. Okay, that's great. Excellent. So the branding creates trust, as I'd mentioned before. It builds your credibility and your trust. If you look professional and you look high end, then more people are likely to purchase from you, and it will obviously appear more legitimate and polished, as if that you care, and as if, I think also if you put effort into the branding and it looks good and it feels good, then people will have that trust that you're not just, you're not just in it for, short term, or you're not just going to disappear. So I think it does on lots of different levels give you amazing credibility. Supports your advertising. So like I said before, you're going to be doing advertising across a few different networks, whether that just be organic sort of social media, or whether it's going to be, once you learn obviously the tools that I'm going to show you, the Facebook ads advertising. So if you've got that really nice consistency going, then it definitely helps you in your advertising efforts for sure. And you want to obviously, too narrow an advertising focus. You don't want to be pigeonholed into being something. You want to, have a really nice kind of wide reach, but obviously within the parameters of your dream customer, your dream client. So here is mine. So as I said before, this is sort of the look that I try and create across all my channels. So your branding goes into more things than just a logo. It's the fonts, it's the colours, the textures, your copy that you use, the target market, the people that you're talking to. So for me, I'm all about helping small businesses. That is my thing. So you'll see that across a lot of my sort of different social media outlets and my marketing strategies and things like that. It's always the same. And these images that you see behind the text, that is generally, I think there may be one or two more, but that is generally the images that I use. So I try and keep it pretty consistent. So definitely give it a go, get a Pinterest board, start pulling together ideas, and start to think out with just a logo or just a few pieces of branding. Really, really push the parameters on that and create it across all your social media channels, website, advertising, everything like that. So again, yeah, just saying, so Canva is the tool basically for doing that, and it's really, really professional looking, and it's next to nothing in terms of cost, which is the best thing. So, and it builds the financial value of you, like I touched on before, the fact if you work really hard and you are consistent, you build that brand, then the financial value is higher, because you're definitely going to be attracting more customers and more clients and things like that. So your business will flourish because of that, and make your brand recognizable and keep it really consistent. Generates new customers. So I definitely think, if people recognize that, or if they've seen it, there's a statistic that people need to see something at least 7 times before they will actually look to buy something or opt into something or anything like that. So, generating new customers, if you have seen it maybe in other places, and you see it and you just, that's subconscious, because we absorb things in a micro-minute basis on social media and on your phone. Think about how quickly you skim through Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. It's just so quick. So, that trigger of just seeing something, whether it's a set of colours or fonts or anything like that, can just, completely change someone's perception and create a new customer for you. So, little couple of questions for you. So how is your brand looking? We've got lots to think about there. Are you consistent across your whole sort of outlets? Are you putting everything together and speaking in the one voice? Is it consistent, and is it really easily recognizable? So start thinking about that and start jotting down some questions and things like that if you have any about the branding stuff. So let's talk about a lead magnet. Now, this was, if you remember at the beginning, I was saying this is something that I am sure a lot of people have completely missed out of their marketing strategy. And I did as well, because I just didn't know it existed actually. Because with a lot of things, we're taught, how to set up a business, or, you're taught certain aspects, or you maybe have a natural ability to be on social media, and maybe you already have developed a really nice brand and that's something that you have just sort of naturally done. But a lead magnet is something that, unless you've actually done a digital marketing course or you've worked one-to-one with someone, you probably don't have any idea what it's all about. So I'll try my best to explain it to you as well as I can. So have any of you heard of a lead magnet, first of all? I would love to know if you have. If you have, then amazing. If not, then let's get started. So this is a lead magnet, an irresistible bribe offering a specific chunk of value to a prospect in exchange for the contact information. The goal of a lead magnet is to maximize the number of targeted leads you are getting for an offer. So what is a lead magnet? So I thought I'll put this up here because it's quite good for you to take a screenshot, take a little photo on your phone and you've got it. But basically it's quite a lot to kind of get around your head. But a lead magnet is essentially something of value that you can put out for free that is speaking to your perfect customer or your perfect client. So that's why it is so important to understand, firstly, who is that person? Who am I actually targeting? Now, in your business, there could actually be multiple people, because you might have a business that has skincare. You could have a business, also within your business, you could have health products. So those people could be slightly different, So for the skincare aspect, it could be you're looking at the anti-aging market. So who is that person? What age are they likely to be, etc., etc. Then same for the health. It could be the vegan. You could have vegan products. So you have to kind of think about who is that person and create a complete avatar of that person. Where do they hang out? What do they like? So if they're vegan, do they like other pages? Would they be likely to like, Deliciously Ella? Her Facebook page, they would like things like that. So you really need to get down into the nitty-gritty of it to understand who your customer is before you make your lead magnet. So the lead magnet is something of free value that you can put out there. Now, it can be anything from a free opt-in for 10% off. It could be things that are here. It could be a one-page PDF. It could be an ebook, a video, a webinar, anything that you can make. When you think about maybe businesses that we use day to day, think about people like Tesco. Tesco use their club card. So their club card is something they give you for free, and they're going to give you free points. But in exchange, they are going to get your details. They will then get your spending habits, which means then they will market at you in a specific way. And that's why Tesco then send you the vouchers for the things that you actually buy, because they're trying to entice you back in to buy more of that. They're not going to send you vouchers for things that you have never purchased, because the likelihood is you don't want to buy that thing. That's why you never have. So start to think about the companies or the places that you shop online or on the high street, and think, what do they do to get my information? Do they give me something, and in exchange I give them my email address, or I give them my house address, etc., etc. So start to think about that sort of thing. So that's what a lead magnet is. Something of free value that you can put out there, which basically attracts the person that you want to attract, that will want your product or service. Does that make sense? So yeah, simply, it's something that you can create of value that is specifically aimed at your target market or dream customer in exchange for their contact details. So again, Canva is an incredible tool for that. So in the Canva, where I showed you at the top with all the different options, you can create an ebook in there, and it'll give you templates. So it means it's just a case of swapping over text and swapping over photos and things like that. You can create a one-page PDF in there. So for instance, again, we'll talk about the vegan thing, because I seem to be a bit obsessed about vegan thing at the minute. I don't know why. The vegan thing, so you could create a one-page PDF that was a vegan shopping list that they would be able to download, they would have on their phone, because you know how easy it is just to have a PDF on your phone that they can use when they go shopping. You could create a meal planner, like a 3-day meal planner, and you could incorporate your products into that or not. You could just purely use it as a tool to put out there to obviously gather people who are interested in vegan products. So you can see where that goes, and there's just so many different options for that. There really is. It just depends on what you're offering, I guess, the time that you've got to put into creating your thing of free value, and really what that end customer wants. So there is a wee bit of a process involved in that. Again, any questions, jot them down and I'll answer them at the end. So perfect. So you have developed your lead magnet, you've designed it in Canva, you think it's perfect for your target market, but what do you then do with it? You know, you're sat there with this beautifully made ebook or PDF, but what do you do with it? So basically, the best thing to do with it is create a thing called lead pages. Now, this is a platform which, again, you can get a free, as you always do. This is their lead magnet. You can get a free trial, as you always do. But literally, I'm going to have a wee nosy in just now and show you guys. So lead pages is somewhere that you host your lead magnet. Right, perfect. So now lead pages again is super easy to use. A bit like Canva, it's a bit of a drag and drop situation, so it's not complicated. You do need to, so you see it here, try free, so you'll be able to go in and do that. It's a drag and drop interface, so super easy to use. So lead pages, this is the part that you're really interested in first and foremost. So here is what you guys would have seen, is my free opt-in page for this free webinar. Sorry, I've upgraded to Fiber, but it doesn't really seem to be making much difference. So basically, this is what it looks like. Super, super easy. So you can, in the beginning, when you create your new page, you can click a template. So things can be completely laid out for you, or you can make it from scratch. But basically, you've got all the bits here, and all you're doing is dragging and dropping them across to where you want them to be. So if you want an image, you want the text above it, there's lots of different, you can have a form that people would fill in and put their details in there to then get your lead magnet, which I'll show you in a minute how all of that links up basically, because this would be their first port of call. This is what you would be advertising. This is the link. So they would find this, then they would find your grab opt-in. So if I was on the normal page, when I clicked this, it would open up a little box and it would say name and email address. And then it would basically trigger off a system, which I'm going to show you in a little minute. So Lead Pages is an amazing tool. You can go in, get a free trial, go and mess about with it, add in as much information as you want, and just get a feel for it. But that is the best place to host basically your lead magnet once you create it. And the other thing I was going to say about lead magnets is you can create multiple lead magnets. Because obviously, like I said, you maybe don't only have one side of your business. You might have multiple different sort of target markets within it. If you're in, I know there's a few network marketers on the line, so you will have people that you are wanting to attract for products, but you'll also have people that you want to attract for business, you know, to build a team and stuff like that. So the two people won't be the same, so you can't be talking to those people in the same way. It's got to be, you know, targeted at them. So developing multiple lead magnets is always advised. So Lead Pages. So Lead Pages is an online tool that you can use to collect your email subscribers. It essentially looks like a mini website, really. Your page is like a one-page website, all functioning. It can have all your details on there. It can have your link to your website, etc. But it's somewhere to host that lead magnet really simply and really easily. And also it means that you can create multiple lead pages really quickly, especially if you're someone that doesn't have the access to sort of your own website and changing things and things like that. You can pop up a lead page within a couple of hours, so it's really helpful for that. So once again, so what's next? So once you have your lead magnet, you've placed it into lead pages, everything looks amazing. You're ready to get that out there in front of your customers, the people that want what you've got to offer. How do they actually receive your free content? Because you don't want to be having to manually send it to people, because it could be that there's hundreds of people that want your free offerings, so it's just not viable to do that. So what is the next port of call is an amazing thing called MailChimp. So again, I'm sure a lot of you will have heard of it, because you'll maybe use it for newsletters, that sort of thing. So again, I'm just going to show you a very, very quick look into MailChimp, but this is the third part in the process, if you like. This is something that you would need to set up to have this almost like a chain of events. So if one link isn't there, it won't work, basically. So you need to have your lead magnet set up, you have it plugged into lead pages looking amazing, and then you have that linked up, which you can do in the lead pages. You have it linked up to MailChimp. So what you need to do in MailChimp is you have to set up lists. So like I was saying before, you're going to have multiple areas in your business. So creating lists of those people is important, because then in lead pages, once your MailChimp has integrated into there, then you click the list that you're wanting for the person to basically opt in to. Does that make sense? Again, any questions, just jot them down. But I'm just going to show you, for anyone that hasn't seen MailChimp, what it looks like. Again, really super easy to use. There's loads of templates and things like that. So at the top here, so there's templates. You've got campaigns, you've got lists. So your first port of call is to create lists. So who are your people? What are you doing? So I've got my newsletter, I've got my Instagram hacks, the free masterclass, etc., etc. So you need to create a list. Create a list. And then again, list name. So you want it to be something that's really you recognize right away. So whether that's your vegan list, say, then you would pop vegan list in there. Your email address, obviously, what it's coming from. So that could be your own name, or it could be your company name. And then you just, where is it down here? So you go down, few options to click, and then save. And then that's your list ready to go, basically. And then once you're wanting to maybe create a campaign, so say for instance it was a newsletter or something like that, you can go in and create campaign in here. Create campaign. Now there's two different campaigns that you can create. You can create a regular campaign. That is something that if you're wanting to create an email to go to a list just now, or it's an email that you want to schedule to go to a list maybe tomorrow, then you would do a regular one. If it was an automated one, this is where your lead magnet lead pages would be. This is where it would live. It would be in the automated campaign. So you would then, a few different options, obviously. You just go with the easiest one, which is always just the new subscribers. Campaign name, again, do something that you will easily recognize. And then you're going to click your list of who you're putting that to. Get a vegan edit in there, so I told you I was obsessed with vegan stuff. And then begin. So once you begin, so I'll just click through, I'll do the vegan edit, so there we go. Click through begin. And then, so this is your first email. So this is saying it will trigger. So this is an automated email system. So you've developed your lead magnet, you have popped it into lead pages, MailChimp is integrated with that. You've clicked the list, which is this one, the vegan edit for what I'm speaking about. And so that's all ready to go. Now, basically in here, what you need to do is then start to create your automated email campaign, which will be triggered as soon as someone pops in their information into lead pages. So basically your first email, I would always recommend to edit the trigger and go for immediately update trigger. So immediately, because 9 times out of 10, they are downloading something from you, so they want it right away. So that email has got to include your lead magnet in it, basically. So you would go through and fill out all of that information. Hold on, just for quickness. And then you'll have to select what sort of layout you want. So 9 times out of 10, I always just go with the basic option. So it looks a bit like this. So you can get templates that will be a bit more designed if you're someone that doesn't really have a creative eye. But other than that, everything in this you can customize. So you can get rid of that if you wanted, or you can add the image. Now, basically, once you have created this, and this is your email that is going to be automatically sent to your customer or your client, then this needs to include the button for them to download your lead magnet. Now, basically what you do is here it is here, so button. So I would drag that to where I want it to go. You can edit what you want it to say, so download now, say. You can change the style of the button, so you can change all the different colours and the fonts and bits and bobs. So if you like getting creative, then there's loads for you to do there. So download now. So basically this is the part here, link to. So you can link that button to a web address, obviously, but I want to link it to a file. So that file you will have downloaded from Canva. So when you create it on Canva, you download it onto your desktop. So it's sat in your desktop. So when you click into that, and you have to then click to upload it into that section, and then that is what you select, and it will come here, and then you save and close. So does that make sense? Then obviously there's loads of things here to customize. This area here, you change your company name, if you've got a mailing address, you can link up all your social media here. Loads and loads of things you can do, really. You can get properly creative with it. But that is where your final sort of piece in the puzzle is. And I'm hoping that's all going to make sense. But if not, I will definitely answer all your questions at the end about that. I'm just going to go back to the slides. Excellent. So MailChimp is invaluable, completely invaluable, as is your lead pages and as is Canva. So that's your sort of 3-step process. And as I said, you do need to make sure that all those sort of link up, because if there's something out of place, then it won't trigger that automation properly. So that MailChimp, so it enables people interested in your work or products to subscribe, unsubscribe to your marketing campaigns, into your lists, your sign-up forms. Say that you can set up a sign-up form for a newsletter on your website, anything like that, and then you can create campaigns that are going to then nurture that relationship between you and that person. Because people don't just buy straight away from seeing a post on social media or just seeing a website or something like that, that there is a process to it. And that is called creating a sales funnel. So you've got everything set up, your MailChimp lists are in place, everything's automated, it's all working beautifully. But now, again, people don't just buy at this point. And this is something that completely blew my mind when I learned all of these systems and strategies, that I was like, okay, so that's kind of where I've been going wrong, you know, just posting and being consistent on social media and posting things and maybe doing the boosted posts and stuff like that's all amazing. But if you don't have a proper sales strategy in place, then it just won't particularly work. You'll get the odd sales, obviously, but it's not going to work the way it should. So the definition of a sales funnel or a revenue funnel sales process refers to the buying process that companies lead through when purchasing products. A sales funnel is divided into several steps which differ depending on particular sales model. Now, again, start to think about what sales funnels are you in? You will be in multiple sales funnels. So think about what you buy online. Who do you spend your money with? Are you in with Amazon, Etsy, the Body Coach? I am in the Body Coach's sales funnel, believe it or not, because I've opted into lots of his free material, and then I have then subsequently done his program, which When you understand this system, you can see that is exactly what he does. He puts out his free content and his YouTube videos and his social media. Then you'll opt in to get more information, free information, X, Y, and Z. And then his actual SSS plan, as it's called, is a completely automated sales model, completely automated. So he has obviously created that in the beginning. There's a lot of effort and work and time that goes into creating that in the beginning, but it's completely automated after that. So I went through and purchased it. You get the download right away, and that's you. You're within that sales funnel and you've purchased. So I went through a relationship process, sales process with him, and then finally purchased. So have a wee think yourself what sales funnels you're in, and work them back if you can. So have a wee think about, what did you opt in to get? Did you opt in to get something for free? Did you opt in to get a free trial? You know, a bit like Spotify, things like that. They'll give you a month free trial to try out the products. And in that process, you will be seeing how you feel about it. Do you like it? Are you feeling good vibes about it? And then that is when you might then decide to continue your subscription or purchase that product or that service. So here we are. So this is a digital marketing sales funnel. This is what it looks like. So the top area is awareness. So your awareness is obviously your content marketing, your social media, paid advertisements, your SEO, which is like your website, stuff like that, your PR if you do it. So your awareness is what you're putting out there. So what a lot of people tend to do, especially in small businesses, is they'll do all of the awareness. They'll continually do awareness till they're blue in the face and wonder why nothing's happening, wonder why no one's coming through that funnel and no one's actually purchasing. And it's not wrong. I think we've all been there. You know, before you learn these systems and these tips, then you just don't know. That's just the way it is. But that's what a lot of people are doing. They're doing the awareness until they get so bored with it and they think, well, this is not working. And quite sadly, a lot of people then walk away from it because they just think people don't want what I've got to offer, or you know, they're not interested. But the problem is they've just stopped far too early. They haven't taken that person through the funnel properly. So the next part is interest. So the interest is then, so okay, they're interested in your lead magnet, they're interested in what you're putting out there, whatever it may be, your newsletter, your free tools, your ebooks, all of that, your landing pages, which is your lead pages. That's the interest. So people are starting to say, okay, well, I'm interested in what they've got to say, so let's have a look. They will get that free lead magnet. They will make a decision on it. They'll see how they feel about it. Now, this is obviously things that happen in the subconscious. You know, you're not actually asking yourself these questions on a day-to-day basis, are we? So, but when you really stop and think about your purchasing habits and how that actually works, then you will make decisions based on various things. And like that, it could be the branding. You really love the colours. You really love the way that they speak on their social media, their copy. The decision process can go on for quite a while. And that can be from person to person. It can be really quick or it can be really long. So I know for me with the body coach stuff, I think I was in the decision area for quite a while. You know, I hummed and I hawed and I hummed and I hawed, and I kept seeing all of the before and afters that they put up. So again, stuff like that then just strengthens my decision-making process and think, right, okay, all of these people are having amazing results and all of that. So yeah, let's go for it. And then that's when you drop through to the action point. But at the decision-making point, you are getting different. So the trust is building there. So there's the email marketing campaign that's coming through. So they're seeing stuff from you often. That's backed up with what they see on your social media. It's backed up maybe what they see in adverts. All of these things. So that decision-making process is so important. So this sales funnel is the process, basically. The awareness is obviously really important because people need to know you are there. They need to know what you're about, what your product's about. Then you need to develop that interest. So, you know, continually offering things of value is key. So, you know, don't just stop at giving them one thing for free. You know, maybe if they've been in your sales funnel for a month or two or longer, then send them something else. You know, it could just be another download, something that's free and easy to offer. It could be like a 20% off thing. So you'll know that within your own, with the funnels that you're part of and what you purchase, then people will throw extra sort of freebies or extra things at you to maybe just push you into that decision and in that action phase. So does that make sense? I think this is a really good visual. I think it really explains it really well. So does that make sense? Yes. Can you see that there is a process to selling your product or your service and attracting the right people? People will go on a bit of a journey before they decide to purchase. Now, if you don't take them on that journey, if they only just see your awareness and they're not in the funnel, as it would put it, you know, in that sales funnel, then they won't probably get to that point where they're going to make a decision. So they don't, as I said before, they don't just see an advert or they don't just see your social media post and then decide to buy something right away. It has to be that nurtured relationship, and they need to get to a point where they have that trust and it's all backed up and they're ready to then take action. And that's with every single business across the world, really. Every business will have that process in one way or another. Obviously, larger companies, it's much more elaborate, you know, in terms of they actually have things and they'll give you continually, like your Boots Advantage card points, they'll continually be giving you stuff for free. But when you're a small business, you don't have, obviously, that revenue to be given actual stuff for free. Then creating free content, something of value, something that will add value to your customer's life is the best way to go, so that they can develop the trust in you and your brand. So social media is obviously a very big subject to cover. So I'm not going to dive too deeply into it. I'm just going to kind of skim over my sort of top tips and what you should be doing in social media. So for anyone that caught the Facebook Live the other night on Facebook, it's just Facebook. I have now got a newfound love for Facebook. I am a bit in love with it. I've just developed a better understanding about it. It's working better for me. So after being on that call the other night with the Queen of Facebook, as she is dubbed, and I can totally see why, she's incredible, then a lot of things really stand out, and that is that video content is the way forward. So from 2019, at least 80% of Facebook traffic is going to be video. Now on the live I had said that video doesn't need to be just you, your face, you talking, so don't be scared, because I'm not a big fan of that myself, to be fair. I'm not overly loving constantly looking at my own face, and I'm sure a lot of you are the same. But be creative with it. So video can be created in so many different ways. We've got the boomerang option, as a girl on my page had flagged up today, and that's an amazing option for people. It's quite eye-catching, the boomerang. I tend to really watch it. I don't know why, it just really draws me in. Other things, there's a new app called Film Story that I tried, which was really good. So it's a series of images that you can then put subtitles and things over, because again, subtitles is so important. Again, I think it's about 80% of people watch videos on social media with the sound off. So if you're doing a marketing campaign, then you definitely want to have the subtitles in there. So there's lots of different things you can do, and there's things like Anamodo, which is again just different ways that you can put images, you can put music, text, maybe a little clip of video, all together to create a video. So there's creative ways to do it, definitely. Quantity over quality, 100%, actually, across all social media. Don't just start popping stuff out there just for the sake of it because you think you've maybe been quiet. If you've only done one post that day, but it's been of amazing quality, quantity over quality. I've got that back to front, actually. I've just realised that. If it's an amazing quality, then that's better than just posting loads of different various bits and bobs. Also taking the time to learn Ads Manager, which obviously we're going to go over very shortly, which is good. And then developing your personal customer avatar. So again, you need to know in social media, and specifically on Facebook, who it is you're speaking to, because if you're speaking to everyone, then you are speaking to no one. You just can't throw information out there and expect everyone to be interested, because it just won't be the case. So you really need to be speaking to the people that are your dream customers and clients. And also developing a little bit of a marketing budget is always a good idea. Now, the Facebook ads, when you know how to use them properly, you don't have to spend a fortune. When you're being so specific in who you're putting your ads in front of, the conversion rate is so much higher. So that's exciting. Instagram is my absolute favorite. I think it's because I'm quite a creative and a visual person, so I really love the fact that it is just all visual. You know, you can just ignore all the copy if you want. It's the actual images. So making your feed look good and consistent, and if you are using it for your business, then having your brand really shine through is really important. And that's where the Canva comes in, because you can then create really nice on-brand visual posts that you can post. Some people like to do it very strategically, so they'll do it, you know, so that it all kind of levels out on the feed, or you can just be a bit more haphazard with it. But overall, you want that feed to look really nice and consistent. Using the stories section is amazing. Definitely use that more, and it's really good to use that if you are a business. Use behind the scenes exclusive access, you know, show your followers a little bit more than maybe what you would do on the feed, because obviously you're trying to make the feed look nice and consistent, stuff like that. You can really kind of explore with stories, and as I'd mentioned before, in Canva on the mobile phone app, you can create those lovely images for the actual stories, so they are the perfect size, because I know that when you post something in the stories section, if it's too big, it just sort of explodes right over the screen. So you can create things that are perfect for stories. Make use of the hashtags. Instagram allows you to use up to 30. Although the research suggests, and what's coming out at the minute, is that the sweet spot for that is actually only 11 hashtags, but make them really super relevant to what you're talking about. So do a little bit of research, maybe look at some competitors or people that are really similar to what you're doing, and just do a little bit of research on what the hashtags are that they're using, because you don't want to use anything that's, you know, really, really huge. When you see that hashtag and it's got like 30 million next to it, that's going to get lost. So you really want to bring that down and find a few more niche hashtags. So nip over to my website if you haven't got it. There's a hashtag swipe file in there that you can literally copy and paste a whole section of different hashtags, which is a really useful tool. And also on your bio, be super clear and concise what you are, what your brand is, and what you do, because people, again, make a microsecond decision sometimes, especially on Instagram. I know I do. I very quickly look at someone's bio and their initial sort of maybe 6 images, and I will make an instant decision whether I'm following or not following. So that is really important. Twitter. Now, it's not something I massively use, I'm going to be honest. I tend to focus on Instagram and Facebook and a little bit of LinkedIn. I would say find what you love, find what you're comfortable with, and be a master in that first. If Twitter is it, then brilliant. Just for me, it just isn't. But a few top tips: your copy has to be really on point, because you have a limited amount of characters to get your message across. A good quality image, again, with the appropriate size, is really important. Canva will allow you to do that for Twitter. And again, hashtags is one of the key elements of Twitter. So hashtags is key for Twitter, it's key for Instagram, but not for Facebook. It just doesn't really work there. So again, do a little bit of research into your hashtags for Twitter. So on social media overall, just keep your brand and your message consistent, but don't be afraid to experiment, like what I was saying with the videos. You know, see what works, see what maybe gets more engagement, what gets more likes, things like that. You do always have to test these different elements. Keep everything of a high quality, so don't just post things for the sake of it. Like I said, you know, really, even if you are only doing one thing a day, then keep it really high quality, and that's enough. Engage. So social media is actually about being social. So especially on Instagram, be really invested in people, you know, take time to like and comment on things that you, not just for the sake of it again, but if you genuinely like it and you want to get involved in a bit of a conversation, then make an effort to be social, especially with people that maybe follow you back, certainly as well. And obviously it goes without saying, be social with the people that maybe comment on your feed and your like. Make sure that you build a bit of a relationship there as well, because at the end of the day, the likes and followers actually don't matter. You can, especially on Instagram, you can see that people can buy followers. You can buy followers for next to nothing, which is just ridiculous, because it's pointless. You know, that number at the top of the page might look good, but ultimately it's not going to do anything for your business. It's your engagement that counts. So you want to attract the right people and have that good relationship and nurturing process. So Facebook Ads Manager, so this is the game changer for your advertising and your lead generation system. So like I said before, it's your lead magnet, which is your first port of call. Develop and design that. Then pop it into lead pages. It's all there and ready. Link that up to your MailChimp and up to the right list that you're wanting to target. And then you need to get it out there. So obviously, organically, you can do that. You can post that link to on your Facebook. You can get people to share. You can post it on your Instagram and all of that. And it will generate people's interest 100%. I think with the free masterclass, just on an organic post on social media, it was upwards of 50 people who wanted to get involved. So it just shows you, so that there is an organic way of doing it, but also the place that it will change the whole game for you is the ads manager and Facebook ads. So as I said before, I can't particularly talk you through it. I'm best to just show you. So give me a wee second to get rid of this. Now again, this is a little bit of, let me just close some of these down, hold on. It is a lot of information. So I'll try my best to try and just keep it quite specific to the basics initially. Perfect, so. This will blow your mind. I absolutely love this. It is my favourite tool now. Okay, so this is your normal Facebook page. So you need to do it in, what do you call it? You need to do it in your desktop. You can't do it in your phone or your tablet or anything. And down here, so you scroll down to the bottom of this left-hand side, this little bit that says Add. And this will open up your Ads Manager. Now there's something called a Facebook pixel, which is hugely important. Now, a Facebook pixel, you develop and download from Facebook, and that is a piece of code that you can then embed in your website. You can embed it into your lead pages, anything like that. And basically what that does is it tracks absolutely everything. So it tracks who's coming to look at your page, who has maybe put something in the cart, but then they've walked away and or virtually walked away and not purchased, where the traffic's coming from, just absolutely everything that you can imagine, it will track. And that is hugely important to get embedded into your websites and lead pages and stuff like that, because your ads manager, as it is here, is amazing. It's an amazing tool, and creating campaigns in here is brilliant, but actually retargeted ads is 70 to 80% more effective. So those people that have already seen your brand, have already been on a little bit of a journey, have maybe came through to your website or your lead page, excuse me, and had a look at what you've got to offer, but then maybe something stopped them, and it could be that their kids are creating havoc, so they've had to go off and do something, or it's dinner time or whatever, and they've just completely forgot. So all of those different areas, you then get to retarget just those people with your Facebook ads. So the pixel is really important. So this is your initial Ads Manager, what it looks like. Now, because my system's already set up, everything's here for me, but when you click into this, it will basically make you set up your, nothing complicated, but just your name and all of your bits and bobs, and there your website, etc. So once that's done, it will open up into your Ads Manager like this. So then what are you trying to do? So 9 times out of 10, we're trying to get lead generation, because we've got that lead magnet, so we're wanting to get it out there. So we'll just keep it as lead generation as the campaign name, but you can make that something that obviously is going to stand out for you. Again, ad name, change that to something that you know, such as the lead magnet. And then your Facebook page. So if you've got a business Facebook, you need to have a business Facebook page, I may add, to do this, but you select what Facebook business page you want to run your ads from. And then we come down to this bit, and it's audience. So create a new audience. So this is where it is really, really important to understand who you're targeting, because you need to know, who are they, where do they live, what sort of age are they men, are they women, are they both? If you wanted to go into things like languages, you can put what language they speak, if that was something that was really relevant to your business. So let's put in just the United Kingdom and say the United States at the minute. Oops. There we go. Country, so United States. Okay, so that's just the areas of focus that I am going to look at for this. So for me, my target market is somewhere in the region of, say, 33 to 47, let's say. Again, don't just guess all of this. It is a little bit of research you want to do, and they're women. So we want to then include people who match one of the following. So this can be, so again, this is when you need to start thinking about where do they hang out? What kind of things do they like? So if you've got maybe like a sort of nice, say like a crafty style business, so they would hang out, they would like Etsy, wouldn't they? 9 times out of 10, they would like the online system Etsy. So we pop that in there. So then what we want to do, this little audience size here is far too broad. So potential reach is obviously this. We want to bring it down. The sweet spot is anywhere between about 30,000 to 350,000 people. So this is 6.2 million. So obviously this is not going to work. We need to bring that down again. So we want to narrow the audience even further. So you can add in absolutely anything here. So demographics, interest, behaviors. So you could put, they like to shop online. Online shopping. So that's one of their interests there. Oh, Austin estimates is unavailable. Why is that? Let's take that out a little second. Let's say you want them to be married because you might have a business that targets married people or unmarried people. If you've got maybe a wedding business, do you see how that then changes your potential reach down again? Now what you need to do is you need to obviously narrow further or exclude people. So as I said before, if for whatever reason your business is targeting married people but not anybody else, then you exclude that person or you narrow it further. So maybe you want to narrow it further and say, will they also have interest in, let me have a wee idea, let's think, the body coach. Let's see if this brings it down any. Oh, there's a body coach there. So they've got an interest in the body coach. Estimates, it's not been my friend tonight, is it? You do need to be a little bit, you need to mess about with it a little bit when you first do your first ad. So you get where I'm going with that. You need to be super specific with who you are targeting. But basically, there's suggestions here as well. It will give you anything. So you could target small businesses, online shoppers, entrepreneurial. You can even narrow it down and target people that fall within an actual earnings bracket. The vegan industry, if they're brides, if you've got a wedding business, then you can be super specific, but you need to know exactly the type of person. High influence, things like that. The pita, so there's Deliciously Ella, so that's perfect for the kind of vegan sort of clean eating market. So you need to have a good play about with that, really. And what you're wanting to aim to do is to bring that down to between 30,000 and 350,000 people, there or thereabouts. I would say up to an absolute maximum of 500,000 people. Any more than that, then unless you had a huge advertising spend, which I'm guessing most of you won't have, then it will just get a bit lost. So you want to try and get it as specific as you possibly can. So then what we do is we save the audience. And then you can roll down here and automatic placement. So we would always do that, especially when you're just learning to do the ads. And then you click your daily budget. So it can be absolutely anything. You know, you can put down an ad spend of £5 a day can be really effective as long as you have narrowed that audience down to your absolute target market. So you don't need to spend a fortune. You work out your daily budget, obviously. And then when you click through, then you start to build what your ad is going to look like. So it'll be linked to your Facebook page, it's linked to your Instagram account, then you get to choose. So carousel works really good. So you can put in maybe 3 to 4 images, videos, and what Facebook will do is they will optimize what one performs best. So that's good. Then again, videos convert really highly on Facebook ads, and strangely enough, square videos as opposed to horizontal video, so square. So in a lot of the apps, you'll see that it'll give you an option of what kind of video you create. Always do a square video. I don't know why, it's like 67% more effective than any other video. So odd, again, it's just that visual thing, isn't it? People like to see a square video. So you will set up your ad there. This is where you would put your text for what is actually going to be in your ad. One thing I would say is that Facebook are really, really pernickety at the word you. So if you're putting an ad and saying, you will love this, you need to download this, then Facebook don't like that. And 9 times out of 10, they seem to reject the ad. So try and make sure that your copy doesn't have a you in it. So try and word it in a different way. So, type it out and just see, but once you've typed it out, you'll see where it's needed to basically just rejig that copy and get rid of the word you. Don't know why, it's a strange Facebook thing. So they automatically show the best performing cards first. So if you've got the carousel, then it's going to show the best one. And then this is where you would select your images or your video or anything like that. And then again, your call to action. So what do you want that person to do? Do you want them to download something? Do you want them to learn more, subscribe, etc.? So you would pick that. And then this is your URL where you would put in wherever you're sending them to. So if you were sending them to you to download your lead magnet, for instance, then you would send them to your, copy and paste your URL for your lead page, and you would pop it in here. Or you can send them to your website that maybe has like an opt-in for an email list or anything like that, basically. And then this is like your little Facebook pixel here that's generated. So that will track absolutely everything that I am doing. And then it'll come down here and it'll show you a little preview. You can put in, this is a little sort of lead form that they've actually just added recently, which is good. So this is an added thing that you can put in, that's a little form that will pop up. So your image, a little bit of your text, what you're doing, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, so that's a quick overview of how Facebook ads work. So again, it is a little bit of testing. Make sure that you're getting that audience down to the right size. That is the main thing. And the main thing is that the things that you have narrowed your audience down is actually the people that you want to target. And just test it with a small budget and see, maybe just £5 or £10 a day and for a couple of days, and just see how it performs. The good thing is the ads manager will tell you all the kind of ins and outs and stuff like that of how things perform. There's an area for that once you go back out of this bit. See if it goes back in. Yeah, so campaigns and stuff like that, account overview, that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's Facebook ads, and I have to say it is an absolute game changer for your advertising campaigns and just getting your business and your brand new lead magnets as you're going to have, getting them out there in front of people. Hold on a wee sec. Perfect. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you've got any questions about the Facebook Ads Manager, then please just jot them down and I'll talk about them at the end. But a little bit of an overview. So set up your Facebook pixel within your website, your lead pages, and this will track your traffic and allow you to retarget your ads, which is an absolute key strategy. Knowing who you're targeting and be as specific as you can. I think I've probably gone over that about 100 times, but that is so important because there's no point in you creating all this amazing stuff, having it all automated and all firing and all cylinders, but it's not actually going in front of anyone that wants it, so that's not going to work. Set a budget for the month, like I said, so as little as £5 a day can work if you've nailed who your customer is and that your offering is speaking to them and is good. Square videos convert highly, as I said. Have the clear opt-in button, learn more down here. So it needs to obviously be exactly linked to what you're saying on the advert. Your copy as well is so important on the ads because you really need to be speaking to that person. But as I said, you can't use the word you, so try and use it in the third person. So try and just get the word you out altogether because it seems to cause some bother, which is annoying. And then know what you want your outcome to be. So what are you actually trying to achieve? Are you just trying to achieve to build your email list so that then you can then go off and nurture that list? So you need to know what your actual goal is in the whole process. So this is the basic teaching of how to set up your digital marketing strategy. So how did that make you guys feel? Did you feel like, oh my goodness, that's right, I was doing all the awareness bit, but I haven't been doing the rest? Do you feel inspired to now go off and create amazing lead magnets and develop them and get them out there? I have to say there's nothing more exciting than once you've done all of that, and it is a little bit of work, don't get me wrong, you want to get it right, you want to put a good bit of effort into it, but there's nothing more satisfying than then seeing people coming through and developing them from being just a lead and developing them through to being a customer or a client. So it's really exciting. So this system and strategy, as I've mentioned before, is used in big corporate companies. Start to think about it. Tesco, Waitrose, everybody gives you something for free to get your details to then market to you in a certain way and to build a relationship with you through email marketing or through posts and stuff like that. Or they may actually even invite you to things, because I know that Marks and Spencer's do that quite a bit. They'll send you an email and it will seem like it's so exclusive, it's only you that's been invited, and then you turn up and the whole of your city or your town have also been invited. But that's just a way that they get to build a relationship and nurture that relationship with you. And start thinking about what do these companies offer for free, just to give you a little bit of an idea. So as I was saying, Spotify or someone that give you a month free. Boots, Tesco, things like that, they'll give you a card and free points. So they'll continually give you stuff for free, but what they're doing is they're tracking exactly what you're doing and what your spending habits are. Plus they have you in their sales funnel, which is the aim. So start to think about what you can do. And then after that, you have to start to build a relationship through emails and things like that. There is a system there, a nurturing system. So what I would say in MailChimp for your first sort of funnel, at least a 7 email automated list. Just going through various things, you can offer them different sort of things of free value throughout. Just generally them getting to know a bit more about you, your company, your brand. So it could be like a link to a blog post that's telling them all about how you get started, or why your product is better in a certain area because of X, Y, and Z. You can see. So obviously it's not a case of set up the automation and then bombard them with product. That's not the point. The point is to build a relationship and nurture that relationship to then move it forward. And then after that, there is a process called a tripwire process, which is the first offering that you would send them. And that first tripwire process product would be something of low value. So say for instance, you had something at 100, you had a skincare set at £165. Now your tripwire product would maybe be in the region of maybe £10 to £15. It might just be something that's skincare related, but it's something that they'll start to like you, so it'll be easier for them to make that first little purchase. It's kind of risk-free. They've already built a bit of trust with you. You've built your credibility, so they would be more inclined to purchase that smaller tripwire product. But then research says that they are then, you know, much more likely to then go on and buy with you further. So again, there's a process there. So at least a 7 email automation setup, I would say, and then you can build on that, and you can add emails in as you get more confident with what you're doing, etc. So I hope you all absolutely loved it. I love delivering this. I know you can tell that I get so excited about it, because I just think, I remember how I was when I learned all these kind of systems and strategies. My brain was a bit like, oh my God, what do I do with all this information? So don't worry. But also I felt a newfound excitement in myself and my business, and how I could move it forward and how I could get it out there. So you guys have the first to hear what I have got to offer, which is I'm opening up a 6-week full training on absolutely everything that we've covered tonight and more, obviously, because we're going to be delving much, much deeper into all the different areas that I've spoken about and really show you how things work more, because obviously there's a lot of different information tonight, so if I delve right into it, we would be here absolutely all night. So I hope I've given you enough information that it gives you a good start. But also I want to offer you this 6-week full training. It's not out to the public as yet, so let me just tell you what you will get within this training. So 6-week workshop, as I said, so it's 6 weeks in total, and what I'm going to be doing is 2 live group one-to-one calls a week like this. Basically what I'm going to do is do a module per week, because I really want the time to be able to delve in and actually show you step by step how things work. And if you've got any issues with how things work, then I've got that time to go back over that, which is good. You're going to get a downloadable workbook, which will be something that then you can work when we're not online and you can work with. There'll be swipe files, there'll be cheat sheets, a bit like my Instagram cheat sheets and things like that for social media and email marketing, because I know that the copy of things doesn't always come easy to everyone, especially in email marketing. So there'll be some swipe files that you can pinch, and you can just slightly kind of tweak a little bit yourself and just make it sound like you and your brand. There'll be 24/7 dedicated workshop only Facebook group. So I have my Facebook community at the minute, but I'm also going to be opening up just for us guys in the workshop, so that we can really share and really help each other and see where everybody's getting on and where they're moving forward, and if indeed they need any help. There'll be tech support, and an extra bonus for everyone who completes the course will also get a free 1-hour one-to-one session just with me. So just me and just you, and we'll iron out any problems that you might have, anything that's going maybe not quite right, and I'll just double check that that system and that loop is working properly, so that that automation is basically doing it in your sleep, which is amazing. Because again, there's nothing better than waking up in the morning, checking your emails, and you've got customers and clients sat there already. That's when you know you've absolutely cracked it. And bonus, I'm really excited about this, because this has only happened in the last couple of days. A really nice friend of mine, Lisa, who's a life coach who qualified with Tony Robbins, is going to be coming on and doing a live Facebook within our dedicated group, and she's going to be covering entrepreneurial psychology and mastering your mindset. Now, obviously, having all these amazing systems and having it firing on all cylinders and stuff like that's amazing, but if you don't have that mindset and that personal development there, then it's not going to work 100%. I do 100% believe that. I am a massive advocate for personal development and constantly personally developing yourself. So that's what it has to offer. So again, just a little bit more, what can you expect? So we're going to dive so much deeper into all those 6 key digital marketing modules. So your branding, who your dream customer is, I'll help you with all of that, developing your lead magnets, setting up your lead pages, getting everything sorted, making sure your email automation is in there. Facebook mastery, so I'll need to go a little bit deeper with the Facebook, because obviously, as you can see, it is a little bit of a minefield. You can 100% go in and play with it yourself, but there are some things like the pixels and bits like that that you really need to get set up for success for sure. And then, as I said, that 1 hour one-to-one session, afterwards, and Lisa with her lovely entrepreneurial mindset training. So a little bit of an idea there, developing your business and idea, because obviously you might have a business or you might have an idea, but we can develop that further and we can expand it in a way that it goes digitally that you might not have already thought about, which is really exciting. Discovering your dream client, your customer, let's get really deep into that. Branding, we'll really start to look at what you're doing and how you're doing it, how it's looking, etc. Complete teaching of the lead generation funnel system, which is what I've kind of skimmed over tonight. But again, for you to go off and do it properly and make sure that everything's set up, they would need to go really, really deep into that and actually show you. Facebook ads mastery, again, as I said, and how to create the perfect email campaign. So again, you've done all of that perfectly, everything looks amazing, but then you need to obviously speak to your customers and your clients in the right way and nurture them. A little bit more about social media, and just let's have a little look at what you're doing and tweak, just for you to gain a little bit more engagement and a little bit more of that awareness part of that funnel. And then, as I said, the guest spot from Lisa, which is super exciting. I cannot even wait to do that myself. So the outcome of all of this, after the 6 weeks, you will have a fully functioning digital marketing sales funnel. So how exciting does that sound? That's not it's a big mouthful of a word, but it's pretty exciting. And that will deliver your dream customer, your dream client, to help you convert them into customers or clients. So at the minute, my guess is that a lot of you are doing the awareness section and not taking people through that funnel. So after the 6 weeks, that funnel will be there and people will be dropping through that funnel. You'll be waking up in the morning and you'll have leads and people to speak to, basically people that are interested to hear what you've got to say, which is good. So the 6-week group small business digital marketing workshop is open for registration now for a limited time. The cart on that is going to close on Friday. No one knows about it at the minute, so you guys are the very, very first. The spaces are limited purely because Zoom limit the amount of people that I can have on at any one time, and that is valued at, well, over $999 actually, because the amount of tips and the amount of techniques and information that you are going to gain is just invaluable actually, especially when you think about your sales funnel being active and what that can actually do for your business. So as I said, the registration is open now. I'm doing it for $299, which is super exciting for you guys. And as I said, it's limited and it's a limited numbers only. And I'm also offering a payment plan, so all the information is in there. So what I'm going to do after this, obviously we've got the Q&A in a little minute, but after that I'll send you over an email with all the information. I'll go back over everything that I've mentioned too, and yeah, I hope to see you there. It's going to be incredible, and after 6 weeks, which will be perfect for taking you into 2018 actually, your business is going to be firing on all cylinders, because I think we all know that it's what you do in that last quarter of the year which will set up your 2018, your next year. If you wait until January, February, it'll be spring, summer before you actually start to see anything happen. It's just the nature of it. So it's perfect timing. So guys, I'm going to do a little Q&A. So let me just pull you up again because I've hidden you all. Bear with me. Where's all the bits and the bobs? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I absolutely love talking about it all. Oh, hello. Right, okay, I found people. That's good. Although, Becky raised a hand. I hope you're all right, Becky. Chats, there we go, that's what I'm looking for. So the chat option is there, guys, so if you have any questions at all, then chuck them in there and I'll be happy to stay on for a wee while and answer any specific questions that you have. Or if you don't have a question, just say hello. Now, what's going on? Now, I'm guessing that somebody will at least have one question. Why are they not coming through? I love social technology sometimes, you know that? It's so good. Right. Hello, got it. Thank you so much, Liz. That was amazing. So inspired to get starting. Amazing. Thank you very much, Anna. I hope you loved it. Do you have any specific questions? Was there anything that was maybe not clear? Becky, amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Any particular questions, Becky, or are you all good? Did I do a good job? Thank you so much, Harriet. Thank you. Did I do a good job at explaining it? I hope I did, and you don't have any questions, but if you do, then fire them over. Good, if a wee drink of water. No questions, you were fab. Brilliant. Okay. So what if out of all of it excited you the most? Anything? Anything? What's the best website creator? I use Wix, but so slow. I love Squarespace, personally. That's where I always create websites, is Squarespace. Again, it's super easy to use. It's like a drag and drop type system. So yeah, definitely that. I've never used Wix, but I love Squarespace and I don't find it slow at all. Becky, you're signing up. Amazing. Excellent. I will see you there. That's so exciting. Thanks, Alexis. Found the lead magnet and sales funnel info really interesting. That's brilliant. Good. You see how that there is a process between that awareness and then just taking them through. So that's good. Kirsty, thanks, Alexis. Lots to get working with. No, there definitely is. You come off and your head is literally buzzing. You don't really know where to start. But what I would say is start developing who your dream person is, who you're talking to. Then you can work on your lead magnet and what that's going to offer that person, and then take it from there. Did you say Lead Pages is free? Lead Pages is free trial initially. I can't remember how much off the top of my head it is a month. It's not a lot of money for what it gives you, because when you have this system up and running, the revenue that brings you justifies it. So I think off the top of my head, it's under £20 a month. I know that. So it's not a huge spend, but you can go in and have a wee play about with it and just see how you feel about it. Kirsten, loved it, so interesting. I can see how much there's to cover. Yep, got so many ideas, that's amazing. Emma, you did a great job. Thanks so much. Blah, blah, blah. Look at each of these platforms. Good, amazing. Fiona, you're all good. Amazing, I'm glad you guys are all happy. So basically, if you are good to go and you don't have any questions, then you can just log yourself out. That would be fab. I'll stay around just in case anybody's got any last minute questions. But excellent, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, because it's been an hour and a half. I do like to chat. The slide mentioned a payment plan for the 6-week course. Do you have any more details? Yes, I'm going to send out an email after I come off of here, which will basically break down everything. So the details will be in there for the payment plan. So don't worry about that. Interested to hear more about the plan. That's fine. Perfect. So it's the plan split into 3 payments. Obviously, I'm absolutely happy to work with you guys in terms of when those payments come. The first one would be initially to secure your place, obviously. But then after that, we can work together in what works best for you. Perfect. So you would love to do it. That would be amazing. I'd be so glad. I mean, 6 weeks is a long time, so we're going to really dive deep and really find out all the ins and outs of these systems and how they work, and obviously help you develop your own system, because yours is not going to be the same as the person beside you, obviously. So that's cool. Fab, guys. Nothing else, I don't think. If there's anything pops to mind, then just catch me on the Facebook page in the community, or email. You'll get that on my website and stuff like that. So please feel free to get in touch with anything that maybe even in the next few days, if it just doesn't feel that you've quite grasped it, then get in touch for sure. Fab. I don't think anybody's got any other questions, so I will log off and leave you all to it and go and grab a cup of tea or whatever you're getting up to. So thank you guys again. That was amazing, and I will speak to you all very soon.